I am absolutely done, and here's why.
Oh, Newcastle was 1 HP, what are you doing?
Missing, bro, missing.
Jude, what are you? What the?
Last week, I told you that today's video would see me hit Platinum 1, but what if, instead, I went even further, beyond? Or did my ranked journey end in yet another season of disappointment? My name's Ragtag, the greatest gutter tier gamer on the face of this earth, and in 24 seasons of Apex Legends, I have hit Diamond only once, and on this game, we had safely landed in the hot zone, where care and caution were at the forefront of my feeble mind. Later, you okay with playing safe till the end game?
Free mind?
Yep.
KK, no prob.
A firefight had broken out nearby. We decided to slip past them just now, and while I did have a rampage and a wingman, the one thing missing from my loadout was self-control. A sentinel, eh? At this point, I was trying to heal my trauma alongside my shields as this bro was on a revenge arc and I was the target! Fortunately, 3v1 made them reconsider and we were victors of this pointless patch of dirt. 10 squads left, round 2 closing. Doesn't anyone fight in this game? Or are they all too busy getting stuck on rocks like me? By the way, I don't really play Ash, and you will see why soon, but for now, the shores of Storm Point finally attracted some hunters. Why did I get the socially anxious bullets in that magazine? 34 shots, 29 damage, 2.9% accuracy? Could be worse. Like, there could be a team right behind us. Purple knockdown shield, eh? Well, I had time, ammo, and unresolved issues to remedy! The rest of that team were throwing the kitchen sink at us from up there, which is when I decided to portal right into their faces, if I could ever line it up. I changed my mind. They could stay up there for all I cared, but the ring would force them towards us anyway. I don't know what happened to their third, but 6 squads became 5 and we were in the end game. And as 5 squads became 4, I had RP that would please the Emperor, but still possessed the aim of an Empire Stormtrooper. Round 5, the other 3 squads had found each other, and even though we were minding our own business, there was never a better time to ruin everyone else's day. Or give them free RP. You never really know with me. Keep crawling, Sparrow. I'm sure someone will pick you up. I mean, not me. I've got a kill to thirst. While we were gaining momentum, the one thing we did not have was the high ground. Yoink! That decoy face planted a pillar and I still committed! Good job, idiot!
Yeah, baby.
It was just us and them, which is when it happened. The ring was closing and we weren't in it. I decided to use Wraith's tactical, which is when I remembered that I was Ash. No matter, for my ego was already fractured beyond repair, and I crawled into Platinum 1 where pain and suffering awaited me because apparently that's when the game decides that you're good enough to face Diamond players. I mean, what could possibly go wrong? This was the very next game and I convinced myself that my time with Ash was not done. We safely landed, but somehow the man with 2.9 accuracy on the rampage thought it would be a great idea to roll with, yeah, the wingman. This game was different from the last one in that it took no time at all for all the squads to be whittled down by half, but once we found a team in Cascade Falls, I had a chance to prove myself. Life is full of chances, by the way. I'm just going to need a few more, alright? Ironic that the only shots I'd hit in this game so far were on a man made of lasers, lights, and lies! We had the high ground and all that altar trickery, so what did I do? Something stupid, of course. No problem, at least I had the fallback. Sarah made it back only to be greeted by campers who were all out of marshmallows, but our Diamond 4 rando, they chose a different fallback to retreat to, allowing us a second chance at this game. We were back, and of course it did not go unnoticed. Without attachments, this would be tough, and risking it all for a care package weapon could even the playing field. Maybe I should have shared and given away the Evo, but in my defense, I don't care. Back in Jurassic Park, we were ready for the end game just by being careful. Another care package which I graciously allowed my team to have, mainly because there was a chance to pad my damage.
Enemy shield cracked. Cut down. Perfect hit.
Round 5 closing now, and someone had already snagged the high ground preparing for the final ring. They might be a problem. Or not. Synchronicity from our team left us with only one squad to defeat. It was a full team. If I portaled into their face, they'd probably beam me into oblivion. We'd have to get them low or wait it out. Their pressure was insane. The final ring was closing. We needed to relocate, which is a good time to tell you that I can count on one hand how many times I've played Ash this year. Apparently, I just threw the game. Or had I? Safe to say that loss might have been my fault, but being absolutely dead inside prevented me from feeling too bad about it. But the losses began to rack up, and ending on minus RP from careless drops or just not being able to survive these ruthless lobbies had me feeling sick, and worse than that, my confidence was starting to falter.
Oh, Newcastle, he was 1 HP. What the f are you doing?
Missing, bro, missing.
Yeah, I saw that.
You don't need to ask then. When another teammate threw us towards the hot drop at tree, I refused to die in the first 10 seconds and went for loot that I wouldn't have to fight over. Also, I was Newcastle, and don't ask me why, I don't care! Okay, this battle was over, and there was no need to 2v3 with another minus 45 RP at stake. It was time to leave. What happened next was my bad. I should have pinged that replicator in staging area, but I assumed that enough time had passed where we would both escape. But...
Jude, what are you? What the f? Jude, where the f are you?
we lost one, so 2v3 didn't make sense. I thought you'd run too.
Jude, no, I was 1v3ing them.
Why? Why would you 1v3?
Because they f***ing rushed me and you not fuck off, dude.
Okay, bro.
You even like that without saying f***ing anything?
You didn't say anything either.
You wanna be able to fight? No, you said f***. nothing.
You said nothing.
At least warn us.
Tell me if you're going to fight. I thought it's common sense to run after you
No,
lose
dude,
someone.
you tell me if you're gonna run. We're already there.
We weren't already there.
No, you weren't already there.
I don't understand, bro. Sorry. I'll get you back. He was right. I should have said something, but most of the time, I would rather die than speak to another living soul. There's someone in there, though. With there being enemies around staging, though, I needed somewhere safe, and the perilous journey to skirt around the map unnoticed had the added pressure of an angry teammate waiting to scream at me if I failed. But I didn't fail, and to my surprise, my raging rando had a change of heart.
Nice. Are you from the UK?
Yeah, Scotland.
Yeah, me and Matt Maggie used to work. Yeah, we used to work there.
How was it?
Fucking shit.
Now that we were friends, there were foes to be found in Countdown. I may have missed every shot, but Ash swan diving into the lava somehow worked out better than I hoped. Hey, that's my job! Victors of Countdown and a paltry 100 damage to my name with 0 limbs, my head was still held high and we were about to receive a gift from the ring gods.
There is couple of teams there. Maybe only one now. Yep, just single.
Only one, eh? Well, let us introduce him to my P2020s, or as I like to call them, the Tactical Ticklers. On me. That little throw cost our team some free RP, as my randos had to come back to patch me up before the ring forced us north. Then Maggie had a whoopsie daisy. I went for the revive, but the ring damage was no joke.
Can you get the banner?
I could try. Yes, I really thought I had the banner at this point, guys, but by the time I realised what had happened...
A team on me.
Come on. Didn't even need my help. I was never getting out of this rank. At least I'd burn for a cause worthier than I, because I was getting carried. But at least we were about to conduct this endgame with finesse. Operate like a well-oiled machine, one with a rusty bolt named Newcastle. Just when I started to feel like I was firmly in control of this game, my enemies showed their will to win.
Let's go.
Yikes!
Triumphing here after such a turbulent beginning would be the sweetest of endings, and so would getting some eliminations, for goodness sake! I'm afraid I have actually been forgetting to record the damage done in a few of today's games, but needless to say, I was not the MVP in that one. But the RP had finally begun to move upwards in the right direction, and I convinced myself that Newcastle was the man to get the job done, until I played a few more games and realised that no matter who I play, the result against Diamond players is the same three things over and over. Bewilderment. Wait, what happened to my health? Confusion. Where'd she come from? And despair. Is there nowhere safe left on this map? It was in this moment where I decided that perhaps the climb out of Plat 1 wasn't worth the suffering, so I went back to Wraith thinking that I would just do a few more, and if they didn't go well, I'd call it a day, retaining my previous title of
Eternally Platinum,
or my personal favourite,
the Platinum Prison.
We landed without incident, because Captain Cautious was in charge of the jump, avoiding combat as long as possible and hoping to keep the distance with my favourite sniper of all time, the charge rifle. Although after what transpired next, I should maybe rename it to the whiff rifle. Deciding not to take that shot was the spiritual reset I badly needed. Pushing W was all that mattered now, and if I survived, we would chalk it down to skill, but if I didn't, we would, we'll just call that some character development. I was too late. They'd revived, and worse than that, another squad was here.
One out on side.
Lifeline needed time to heal, so I went for a 200 IQ move, give or take 150. Sticking around to thirst those knocks would have been risky, and the sting of the ring decided my enemy's fate. And my teammates. Turned out that their fate was to survive for now, but we had a long way to go, and this game was turning into a survival horror. Without the survival. Good job, team, dealing with my earlier knock. I'm not bitter at all. No, sir! We pushed towards Barometer, and round 4 meant we needed a plan. But plans are for people with hope and skill, and I had neither. So we pushed the biggest building left on the map, and I decided to hug Lifeline no matter what. How in the name of Zeus's butthole did that happen? I don't need 2 charge rifles! We now had the best position in the game and a select fire for the charge rifle, which meant I could now miss my shots twice as quickly. Round 5 closing meant that we had a great view of all those peasants running away from the ring. You'll never catch me dying like that. Only 4 squads left. Our position remained perfection. One squad left, and this game was firmly under our control, which meant that the world was out of order at this point, and the gods were quick to balance that equation. But it wasn't over yet. Look, don't ask, guys. I don't know what happened, all right? Well, that was awful, but another second place and I was closing in on Diamond. But so was Sarah, and you might be wondering who she is at this point. Well, she's one of my OG mods from the Overwatch days who says I'm a replica of her father. I mean, he must be hilarious yet sagacious because I'm like an undiscovered Western Buddha, showering the Apex Legends community with paternal wisdom and unmatched gameplay.
You piece of noob.
Winning this game could propel us both to Diamond, which is a good time to point out that going AFK mid-game could easily jeopardize such machinations. In the pursuit of loftier goals, I somehow concluded, by the way, that the L-Star was an integral part of my mission, so was yoinking the gold helmet. At least I shared the rest this time, before going AFK. Leaving one set of trials would soon be met with another in Skyhook, and while I'd normally avoid confrontation at this stage in the game, false confidence had been instilled with my golden goodness. Our enemies decided that we weren't worthy, and pushed. Turns out we were worthy, and the third member of that squad scurried off while we charged towards Countdown, hoping to catch up with them. But teammate didn't care one bit and found more action in Skyhook. Knowing full well that we could rank up to Diamond if we won this game, we hunkered down and waited, and yeah, we waited a little bit more. But eventually, Mirage pretending to be a decoy ended up attracting the wolves to our lair. If only I had my tactical aim. Round 5 closing, and I'm not ashamed to admit it, guys, we looked for yet another building to hide in, and I was getting better at holding doors with the portal too. Curse you, Mirage! This was it, the final ring. All we had to do was move nice and slow, but of course, it was never going to be that easy. If she just made it down the stairs, we could get Sarah back on her feet. It was time for another high-class portal. So of course, that is to say, I managed to mess things up once again and take final ring damage! I didn't know if we could win or not, but I knew that rushing into the fight would be a mistake. We had time, and I intended to use every second. Good job, Sarah. Good job, Mirage. And we did it! But was it enough? Yes, it was! Somehow, both of us crawled across the finish line into a new rank, a new adventure. We could hold our heads high as Diamond ranked players from this day forth. And if a middle-aged arthritic loser can get there, guys, so can you. By the way, can you do me a favour and troll the comments section? Just say how sorry you are that I'm still a filthy plat after this video so that it doesn't spoil the ending for those that are reading while watching. Be as creative as you can, alright? Anyway, now that I've made it to this rank, what tales could be told from such a new vantage point? A new... I'm uninstalling this game. Or am I?